DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Don't miss your chance to win big every week on The Zone. This week on Win Ticket Wednesday, you can win tickets on, Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace. Live, Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater, September 27th. Tickets are on sale now, livenation.com. Listen to The Zone all day Wednesday for your chance to win. Question of the morning. How good have these NBA conference finals been? Yeah, lumping them together like that for, PK. The East has been good, the West has been bad.
But
Although we're also just
I don't think the West has been bad.
We're only getting to the part where it really gets good.
How could you say the West is bad? They played 4 games, and 2 of them have been really good.
And 2 of them have been huge blowouts, and it's 3-1. So
it's the games. If you go 4 games overtime, that's an eh?
The fourth one sure is, because at 3-0, I got no hope for you.
And it goes overtime? I'm not talking about the series as a whole. I'm talking about the games. You know, if you go watch the Rocky movies, you go and Rocky 5, whatever. I don't remember any of them beyond the one. But Rocky 5 is a really good movie. But you're not going to come out of that, oh, the other movie sucks, so this one. No, you look at it, they're their own entity, and you look at it individually. If you think Rocky 5 is a great movie and you loved it, you don't care about what Rocky 4 or 3 or 9 or 15, and now the extension with... who is it? Michael B. Jordan continues with the series. Is that who it is? Yeah.
Yeah, Creed.
So, Creed, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, thanks. And so it's going to continue to go on. Who knows how long? Probably for 15 generations. Grandfathers upon grandfathers and their sons upon grandsons. Yeah, what was your favorite Rocky movie? It's like, is it LeBron or is it MJ? Depends on how old you are.
It does. It really does. It's just,
right.
The more people I hear argue about it, the more I'm like, I'm figuring this out now.
Yeah, because you didn't see what he did.
Right.
You weren't old enough. We get it. I've accepted that. And so that's the way you view things. But I view it as an individual game.
What was
These games have been great.
What was the other Timberwolves game that you really enjoyed?
Well, Minnesota's
really,
shooting the lights out in Game 3. And literally the lights out in my house.
But to me, the other 3 games, you said there were 2 really good games, and I thought there was only one.
Last night was a really good game.
Game 4.
And Game 3. I just said it.
But it wasn't.
They shot the lights out.
It wasn't a good game.
To see that level of shooting is fun. I complain about the missed threes. I never complain about the made threes.
Which one of the 43-pointers bugged you? The 28 that didn't go in?
Yeah. And I complain about guys being 1 of 9 and then finishing 2 of 15. You don't have it that night. Shooting is fickle. Some nights you're on, some nights you're not. And I don't care who you are. The great Steph Curry has had some dismal shooting nights. We get it. He's earned the right. Very few players in my mind, this is my own arbitrary system here, but Steph Curry, I can live with that because he's earned the right to take the shot no matter what happened. Jordan came in here and we saw it almost 30 years ago when he was having a crappy night, but he goes and he makes the biggest buckets. He's earned the right to do that. You wouldn't have whomever, Kukoc on that team firing up 32 threes. They don't do it that day.
That was Scottie Pippen's point.
Yeah.
When he sat out there. What? That guy?
Yeah, but I don't remember what that individual game was.
It's just too easy to...
Yeah. There's very few players who have earned the right to fail.
Who've earned the right to miss 30 shots and still be told, why don't you go take the 2 biggest shots to win the game in the series? And that's what happened with Jordan. He missed 30 shots.
10 guys that we can look at in the last 30 years who you could put on that plateau and say, yeah, you're the guy who's earned that, and we'll sink or swim with you, and that's everybody's comfortable with that. So I've never complained about made threes. It's just that when guys aren't hot and you can do about other things. That's why I loved SGA the other night, only dominating the game and only shooting 2 threes. I thought I was back in my 20s. It was like it was a total throwback.
If we're going to complain about how many threes everybody shoots and how many free throws he shoots, then we're just going to complain all the time. And maybe that's it. There's just a segment of every sports fan base that is going to complain all the time, and so we're just going to have to hear this.
But the thing that excited me is the young man obviously understands basketball at a high level to know I can be extremely effective and the most effective by doing this, not standing because some dude in a greasy-haired, glasses, pencil sticking out of his pocket from some Ivy League tells me I need to do this. No.
Well, they have told him that.
And he said, well, I can't say what he said.
No, actually, I think it's one of the things that's most impressive about him is he now shoots more threes than he used to. And
but he hardly ever shoots them.
And he makes more than he used to.
The most he shot in this series is 7. That's nothing. That's like first quarter.
Granted, it's nothing, but if you look at his usage, his there's a straight line over 4 years. Like, he's shooting more and he's getting better. And I think there was a down point in his career, probably where he became the focus of the defense, where the numbers kind of cratered. And I don't know, maybe he was reworking his shot at that point. I don't know. We'd have to go back and ask somebody who was, paying more attention to that 4 years ago. But he still does the other stuff. He will pull up, and he will go to the rim, and he will go to the free throw line, and he's good at all of it, which is why he's the MVP.
The few threes that he's taking relative to everybody else in the game tells me, hey, I'm not just going to rely on this. I'm going to use all my talents, which are enormous. And as a fan, that's what I want to see. Jalen Williams in Game 4 had it going on from 3. Fire away, son. You're feeling it. It's your night. No problem from my perspective doing that. I have the problem, unless it's a situation that demands it at the end of the game, we all understand that you then go other ways. You're not looking, you know as a shooter, man, it's just a little off tonight for whatever reason. Whereas if Rodney Hood can score 25 points in a quarter, anybody can who's a shooter. He was a shooter for a good while in the league, right? He had it going on. Fire away, Rodney. It's your night. And then if you're in a situation where you need the 3, Sunday out of Gaines, take it. And you go in, and it's the biggest shot of your life, and everybody goes nuts. Okay,
and you're out of the league shortly after.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody who's ever touched a basketball would have killed for Sunday out of Gaines' moment.
Yep.
Right? That's a dream come true. He should have just, like I did when I hit that baseline 20-foot hook shot, just run out, get in your car, and go home. Never to be heard from again. You can never top that, Sundiata, but you did that. Great. That's a phenomenal moment that goes down. Probably nobody else remembers that outside of Jazz fans and Sundiata and his family. But so that called for the 3, you took it, boom. It was a fun moment. Celebration galore. That's okay. But in this way, especially in the playoffs, when attention and pressure and everything gets so more exacerbated, to have him do what he's doing, I'm finding it highly entertaining. I can argue from that perspective, all 4 games have been entertaining. Plus, it's new blood. Who doesn't want to see that?
Actually, the thing I found most entertaining was, and I'm a sucker for these in every sport. I'm a sucker, and I think actually a lot of people are, which is why they keep doing this.
I'm a joker.
the
Midnight toker.
I knew we were going there. Mic'd up, and he's on the bench, and he's talking to his teammates about what he sees in the game and why the game's out of hand and why they're getting smoked. And he's completely dialed in, and he's right, and they fix it, and they win Game 4. So in a weird way, the most interesting stuff was watching him sit on the bench when Game 3 is way out of hand and going against them.
Yeah, he played 28 minutes that game, I think. Okay. They're not going to win them all. They're not going to sweep it.
Right.
No one's that good.
Yeah, and what he said was I don't want to say it was emotion free. There was emotion in it. There was certainly conviction in it, and it was more analytical, and it wasn't complaining or whiny or any of the negatives that we've heard associated with some post game press conferences or media avail. I mean, it was just there's this, there's that. We're doing turnovers, their threes. He was just breaking it down. And so much confidence that they could bounce back, and then they did.
Yes, I think there's every reason to believe he has complete confidence in his game. And that this is going to be something that the league is going to have to contend with for the next 5 years? Unless there's some massive injury issues.
He's 26, so
Right.
yeah, his prime is.
And the other two guys that you would identify as the second and third best players are younger. They're so
with
good.
Oklahoma City, not in the league. Yes,
Yeah.
with Oklahoma City. Oh yeah, their core is so yeah, and so it looks like the two things that could break this up are injuries because you never ever know. You never know. But the money thing, when you get three players who are that good, that close together, that young, that's what broke up the Thunder last time.
Yeah, but that they have these guys under control because they're so young that they have them under control for the next 3 to 4, 5 years. Because in order to be a restricted, you have to first be an unrestricted. So there you go. They're going to be there. They're going to be so good that OKC is going to just be so benevolent. They're going to say, Jazz, no matter what happens in the 25-26 season, you can keep the pick.
That would be so condescending. That'd be awesome.
No, it's benevolent. It's helping out a brother in a small market. That's what that is. That's not condescending.
That'd be something if that actually happened, which it won't.
That is as a religious man, you should know better. That is something to help your brother. What better way? I don't know about you. I'm not this guy. I haven't lived in Utah too long. I haven't lived in Utah enough because it's rubbed off on me, but it hasn't completely rubbed off on me. The act of service. I need to live here more. I need to live here another decade. You hear that, bosses? Another decade because I need to learn more how to serve my fellow man. That's the lose yourself, DJ.
Lose yourself.
Yes.
You gonna give us a little M&M now?
In the act of service. That's what you need to do.
Hit it, Yuck. I know you want to.
You're flying all over the world here on these vacations and everything. If I'm lucky, I go to St. George or maybe Salinas, where Locke told me to go. Or not Locke, Yuck told me to go to Salinas last week.
Why did you send him to Salinas?
Salina.
Oh, Salina.
His sister?
Yeah, there we go. No, we were playing where are you? How are you hanging on? And I said, I'm in a Salina.
Salina.
Yeah, so I
He told me to go to Salinas.
yeah,
One letter changes a lot.
it do.
Moves your whole time zone.
Right. I mean, like you said, I'm a sucker, and I said I'm a joker, and I'm a toker. Well, if you start rhyming with sucker, we've got issues.
Probably.
Yeah, right. That's why I bailed you out, because I thought maybe you might get on that train, and then you can't come. You've said other things. I said, what the heck are you saying?
I have said other things.
So I try to save you.
All right, DJ PK, we watched the playoffs. Lessons for the Jazz in their rebuild. Seems like there is one that is presenting itself pretty clearly. We will get to that next. Stay with us, DJ and PK. It's 97.5 The Zone.